following message is being transmitted at the request of the Boundless PodTrap movie review and the guys of the BPT. What you are about to hear contains spoilers to movies. If you don't want to hear these spoilers, please disengage your listening device at this time. If you can't handle those with a possible differing view on a movie, you may also want to disengage your listening device at this time. Stay tuned for a movie review that only the guys at the Boundless PodTrap can give you.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, what's happening?
Did
you want to do something else?
Something out? All these podcasts that you start, it's like, what's happening?
What's happening?
What's the hap?
What's happening? Yeah. So, we got a special guest today. Sir?
Present.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. What's your name?
Line. My name's JJ Johnson.
We're not paying him.
No.
So we're
you
sorry.
guys get paid?
Some of us.
Justin,
we just get paid.
He hoards all the money.
We're actually making some pretty decent. We're up to like 47 cents with.
God damn. You know how we make more money. Go to Zazzle.com.
Yeah.
So somebody bought a bumper sticker. That's why we're at 47 cents.
It's probably been a few. Pretty much everything you get. Like
you bought them though. You bought them and handed them out to us.
This is true.
Do you need a control?
Do you need a bumper sticker? I got a bumper sticker.
No.
And that's the problem. Oh God, no.
Have you seen
like, what is this? So JJ is actually one of my is my best friend.
Well, first off,
I'm
you
the
should tell
best
people what the
friend.
fuck's going on right now.
We're doing a movie review podcast of
Of a movie.
Not only do you fuck the intro up 4 times, you just randomly, hi, what's going on? Who
2
you?
times.
What's this thing?
I fucked it up 2 times and got it right on the 3rd time. I think that's
and you
how that
suck
wins.
at math.
No, that's math. 2 minus 4.
Mom,
Carry the
Dad,
1.
don't fight.
Not this.
Scaring the kids again.
What's the new age math these days?
Fuck new math.
What is it called?
Common Core.
Common Core.
What?
Do you
No,
have
I'm not
to?
common at all.
Okay, this is true. 1 out of 4 people are common?
People.
Wow.
People, okay.
You went there.
Common people? Yeah. Plebs? We're plebs? All right.
Peasants.
Yeah.
Well, he was your best friend. Not anymore.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, so JJ here, me and him grew up together in the ghetto.
It's good that you had together. Otherwise, it'd just be that.
Because like we all just grew up.
I was going to say, strange. The rest of us grew up.
Grown up.
But no, I've known this dude since middle school. The stories we could tell. We would probably have to have him back on a podcast just to put it all out there. But
Do it.
we'll see. We'll see. He's a busy guy. We'll see. We'll just see how this one goes, and if he passes the test.
Pass.
Yeah, I'm grading you on your performance here.
Oh.
So
Let's start with the oral exam first.
Anyway, so I gotta go.
yeah,
That was the worst zipper impression.
Zipper.
Did you just do like
what was his
zipper?
laugh?
I was cackling.
You're making fun of his laugh. Dude.
Jesus.
Very insensitive.
It's very anti-Semitic.
Right?
Exactly.
Wow, but this is like
Wow.
He's kind of the Jew.
This
He
podcast
is kind of like the
Chaim.
racial.
so much tension.
Do you got like $1 on you?
The funny thing is, there's actually one rolled up over there.
Boom.
That's weird.
You can have that
There's
if
a
you
long
want it.
story.
It's all dusty.
Do you want that one?
TV show Animal Kingdom is about drugs and stuff. So
He's getting into character.
I put salt and stuff on the table. Anyways,
So, what are you about? What are
what are you
all
about?
What are you about? You're coming at me all like hard like that, man.
Yo, the fuck you want, man?
What are you about?
I don't know.
So I wanted to, before we get started on the movie for tonight, I wanted to talk about your guys' Alpha Dog little podcast thing.
He loved it.
I mean, So like, I remember watching Alpha Dog and I really liked it, but like everyone's like, oh my gosh, this poor white kid, he got shot and over drug money in California. And like, from the black perspective, I'm just like, yeah, yeah, that's what happens. Like, this is, I mean, if we were to make a movie every single time,
I guess that
black
checks
kid
out.
got shot.
It's a little smoky.
Got shot over $1,500.
That's
You
it.
could probably lower that down a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're giving Alpha Dog 10 out of 10 is what you're
Well,
saying.
so that's the thing, is I actually really love the movie, but like, I don't know, it was a little heartless of me. I was like, that's what happens. Like, this is, little Tyrone didn't get a movie made after him.
Going from, I guess, like the suburban area, you would imagine, or I guess you would hope to approach it in like a different perspective, especially since they already come from family with money. But money is money, so I guess it would do anything, so.
I just really wanted to discuss that with you guys. Also, how could you give that movie such a low review?
Thank you.
I hated it.
Gosh.
Exactly.
I hated it.
He gave a bigger rating on Rubber. Well, I guess he picked Rubber.
I didn't pick Rubber.
Didn't? Who picked Rubber? Why did we review Rubber?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys made me watch. You said we should watch. I think Lonnie suggested us watching it, and I was like, well, let's do a review about it.
All right. And you loved it.
It was pretty good.
I thought it was good.
He gave Passion of Darkly Noon a higher rating than Alpha Dog.
Yeah, and then you fucking killed it by reciting the movie word for word.
It was
Day
integral.
one.
It was integral. Why do you keep going
Was
back to
it?
that?
Day one.
Yeah.
Was it?
Because
walked into the road,
I
fell over. Scene 2.
we lost
She brought him water.
of our 2 listeners. One of them quit listening after that episode.
she needs to catch back up.
That's why you're not selling your bumper stickers, man.
I'm not selling them. I'm giving them away.
People are
You
giving
can't
them
even
back.
give them away.
Smart business.
What movie are we watching tonight?
Let's see. We watched V for Vagina. Was that it?
Almost.
That's definitely
Because
I bet
Getting
we
there.
can
I had to
Google
pay
it.
an extra subscription fee to view this movie for you guys that I'll need reimbursed.
How much did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you make it through the whole movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
I figured.
I saw what I needed to see.
This was the first movie where I was scared because it wasn't free anywhere. But luckily, our good buddy Michael had HBO Max and it was on there.
I was going to say, yeah, it was on HBO Max.
I watched it on a streaming site.
Which one is it?
I can't really.
Oh,
I can't disclose.
yeah, that's what I thought.
It's like I didn't. Yeah.
All right. So realistically, we are talking about V for Vendetta tonight, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Ow.
Sorry.
V for Vagina is, in fact, a book, though,
I'd imagine.
on Amazon.
And he just ordered it. It'll be here tomorrow. That's our first book review.
Company
Oh,
account.
it's also a Pussifier album.
Oh yeah, V for Vagina. That's an awesome one. I like the case of that one because if you open up the case, it's like a paper case, and it says like nothing's inside here.
We've spent more time talking about V for Vagina than V for Vendetta.
I'm sorry.
Well, what's the movie about?
All right. So it's a 2005 movie that is based on the comic book by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. Says the IMBD blah, blah, blah. Says, in a future British tyranny, a shadowy... I don't know why I'm doing the voice. In a future British tyranny, a shadowy freedom fighter known only by the alias of V plots to overthrow... It says it, but I'm pretty sure it should say the government with the help of a young woman. And I was like, well, that's a really boiled down to the bare bones description of it.
It's like she did one thing.
Yeah, she didn't really help.
Yeah. I mean, she did the big thing, but she did one thing.
Technically, she did 2 things.
She pushed a button.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
She maced the guy, and she pushed the button.
She pulled
And
the
she
lever,
put him
It
in the
was a
train.
lever. She pulled the lever.
and she let her badge get stolen. But badge.
Gotta
Pronunciation.
enunciate.
B for Badgana.
It was directed by James, I don't know how to say his last name, McTeague.
McTeague, yeah.
The writers are Lily and Lana Wachowski.
It was
Kowski, yeah.
the Wachowski brothers, but now made sisters.
Yep. It's 2021, man.
Yeah,
You got to get comfortable with that.
Oh, I'm good with it.
No, 'cause
It's-
we talked
it's
about
Gay
it.
Pride Month, man.
They're not, well, they're it's not the same.
Man.
It's not necessarily gay pride. It's just pride.
I would do one of them. It is, yeah.
Wait, which one would you do? Lily or Lana?
Lana?
You would.
Lily.
You would.
Lily.
No.
All
right.
Let me go back.
Oh, definitely Lana. You're choosing the wrong one, man.
No, she's...
Lana by far.
I'm more
Classical.
attracted to her intelligence.
Get out of here with that.
No, Lana by far. What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying. Anyways, whatever. What
do you...
What were we talking about?
We're
showing
We're
me
just
pictures.
we're just looking which one we'd rather have sex with.
Okay. Continue, Jade.
I want to leave.
Don't
All right,
forget
so-
to take a bumper sticker.
If those two people are at the driveway, make sure they get one too.
To put
All
on
right, so starring as V, you got Hugo Weaving, Agent Smith there, being Evie, his counterpart, who apparently was integral to his plan to overthrow the government, according to the synopsis. Was played by Anakin's main squeeze.
Right.
See what I did there? 'Cause
Harvard's gravity.
killed her.
Oh, yes.
That's squeezing the Force.
Yeah, thank you.
Natalie
We're
Portman.
not going to review that one.
Right,
for
no.
sure.
And then just a bunch of, random ass, not at all famous English people.
Stephen Fry was
Stephen
made.
Fry, yeah.
I know. That was sarcasm. I was being
Oh.
sarcastic. That fell flat.
I get it. It's funny because it...
Like John Hurt, who played Chancellor Sutler.
the first time that one of the first times that they said his name, they're like, Adam Sandler. I'm like, what? It was Sudler, Adam Sudler.
Yeah, it's their accents. They need to
I
speak
realized that there was a difference
clear.
there.
Yeah,
Somebody's accent in there was different though. It was
right.
not
So,
as-
so yeah, that's my synopsis I got.
right on. Well, this is your pick. So
All right.
how would you rate this? 10 stars.
So I would say for me, it's a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
I just
arcade.
cool. I got them
What's the stars?
life up,
Level it up.
one up there.
I haven't seen this movie relatively since it came out, probably within like the 5 years it came out. I think I've only seen it like 2 or 3 times. I have probably caught clips here and there, but it was very amazing for what it was. The movie itself pretty much started a whole movement. And like I said last podcast, like Anonymous is synonymous with
The Guy Fawkes mask.
with Guido Fawkes, or now Guy. His original name was Guido. He's Spaniard, but anyways. I got one of those.
He never uses it on himself though.
Coming back to me. All right. Well,
God dang.
what?
You do realize people can't see us right now.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so I haven't seen this in a very long time, and I think with today's climate, it kind of like coincides with a lot of really, well, like just the works. Alan Moore's writing with this, and just like knowing how governments and policies and all of that works, and how people can easily just turn against each other or on the government. How easy coups can be implemented. It's not necessarily a full coup, if you will, but like just trying to get the government or the people against the authorities against the government, taking it all down. The way that media controls the minds, it was a idea that was prominent through the entire film. I loved this movie more than I thought I did.
So it's really weird, like, because the comic book came out in 1988, right? And Alan Moore is, I'm pretty sure he's a wizard with
looks
all
like
his
it.
like super accurate depictions of just where the climate and stuff will go politically. But like, so for me, I'm the opposite. Like I really love this movie. So every November 5th, I make my wife watch it with me, and we have like V for Vendetta parties that no one shows up to because my friends suck.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right.
Let me know
You're
next
busy,
time.
you know, it's fine. And so like I kind of just make it a yearly tradition, just to have fun, watch the movie and stuff like that. And like every year, up until last year, I was like, this movie's so fun. Oh, wouldn't it be great? And haha. And then like I watched it in 2020, November 5th, 2020. I was like, I don't like it. It's too real. I don't like it. You went from like, that could never happen. We would never take this virus thing seriously to the point of, giving up so much of our freedoms and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, Well, that doesn't feel great. Well, we would certainly never have a guy so obviously offensive as like a huge world leader. Oh, no. So 2020, like, definitely made this movie, I don't like feel very prophetic, kind of like
You need a shower
Idiocracy.
afterwards.
Yeah. Just cry in the shower, fully clothed.
The
cold
massage
water.
used to feel differently before. Yeah. But no, I guess my rating for this, it would probably, because I really liked it, the action, the colors were just like popping, like the clash of like reds and blacks, and
I almost want to say that's like cinematography, maybe.
yeah,
Like the way it's shot.
probably.
Yeah.
You got a point there.
Aren't you in movies? and
Sometimes,
stuff?
I only play
I
in
don't
movies
see it.
on movies. No, I give it a 8 stars.
You got to level up too.
Yes.
Alan Moore, he wrote one of my favorite comics of all time, The Killing Joke. So he is capable of writing an amazing story. And I liked his graphic novel of V for Vendetta, piggybacking off you, JJ. And from someone who grew up with neo and narco-anarchists, you kind of watch this from a different perspective. Like, some of the things that V was doing is so stereotypical anarchy, but some of the things he does is so not. Like the keeping of all his things he steals and his lavish lifestyle is so not something an anarchist would do. They want to see the world burn, not preserve it. And the way I watch this movie, it's like he is grooming his new protege, and that's the way I took it. Like, the whole movie is him grooming Natalie Portman and him more or less grooming Finch as well to take over. He's pretty much done with the life, but he wants that life to grow and bloom and kind of fester in the people, but he needs the right people to pass it on to. And you see that progression through the movie, and he's making the right moves, but you can tell with the murders that he's doing, he doesn't have that same spirit anymore. And his first monologue he makes when introducing himself to Natalie Portman's probably got to be in my top 5 favorite monologues ever.
Oh, yeah.
As low as I give movies, I probably give this one 6.5. I liked it. There's some things I didn't like. Like I said, some of the things he did, I think, were wrote from someone's perspective of not fully understanding what an anarchist would do.
So I saw that this is my second time seeing this movie. The first time I saw it was when it first came out in 2005. I saw it in theaters, and that was one of 2 movies that I fell asleep in the movie theater at. I don't remember if it was because I was tired, what it was, but I was actually excited to watch it again 15 years later or whatever it is. And one thing about me is I'm not a fan of politics. I'm not a fan of stuff like what this movie's about. I also dislike thick accents like in this movie. Like, that's all I concentrate on, and I get annoyed by it. And
He's a little racist.
how you're talking about V's opening monologue to Natalie Portman, that just annoyed the shit out of me with his accent. I stayed awake for it, but it didn't take me long to realize why I probably fell asleep in the movie theater. I watched it all the way through. I just couldn't get into it. I don't have much more detail to give to that because, like I said, when I'm not into a movie, my mind's not into it. I thought some of the action was pretty good in it. It wasn't a terrible movie, but I'm definitely giving it the lowest rating here. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10.
Which that gives us a BPT score of 7.
7?
7 stars.
Yeah.
There it is.
I feel like I'm at a casino.
Yeah, and it had so many elements to make the movie great. And I think the Wachowskis did a great job with the screenplay and writing a lot of the dialogue.
Yeah.
And they almost gave the government that Big Brother feel, controlling the media, controlling all that. And it's like that could never happen, but there's so many elements of our real life in that. It's like you said, Alan Moore is he a prophet? Has anyone checked to see if he bleeds?
Some of this, like Watchmen, all that, like just the way he writes on certain things. But with this movie, I guess Alan Moore wanted his name taken off of
Yeah,
it.
he's not credited at all. Like it's David Lloyd is the only one credited for the graphic novel.
Why did he take his name off of it?
I guess he just didn't approve of. I mean, he probably could have gone deeper with the screenplay, with the screenwriting, but
And they took some liberties as well.
Yeah, if you read the like actual comics or graphic novels, it is pretty. I mean, like the idea of, like you guys have said, the big brother government and the abuse of power is there, but the overall storyline between what the characters and stuff is drastically different in the comics than in the movie. I don't know, maybe it was because I saw the movie first or whatever, but I felt like it was one of the times where I enjoyed the movie more than I enjoyed the comics. But maybe it's because...
first introduction.
Well, I mean, that and like, I don't know, Alan Moore is really smart, and maybe it was just too smart for me, and I was like, I like when he blows stuff up and punches people.
Okay.
You know?
I think with what you said, Lonnie, was one of Alan Moore's works with the Killing Joke, and I kind of like put that together. Like the way I see V, he's kind of like a combination of Batman and Joker together. Like he is for the justice, but he's not that he's not all up there. He's loose. Like there's something rolling around, and he takes a little bit of pride in it.
And that's what I was putting together with, you could tell he's done.
Yeah.
Like through the whole movie, he's not caring if he's getting caught. Like the scene where Natalie Portman saves him, he's okay. He got caught. He's okay. He's like, fine, whatever. I'm caught.
He based himself, the Guy Fawkes, he based him off of a failed rebel.
Right.
And that's what happened with the gunpowder, what is it? Plot. Thank you. Hard word.
Yeah.
Letters.
So by that time, he's giving his cause life to move on. But for himself, you could tell he's just done. He's over it. He wants the revolution to continue, and he wants it to breathe. He knows he's not capable of continuing it anymore.
Well, I think it's when you were talking about like the anarchy part of it, and it's like he is, he does have like a dual motive of getting revenge, but then also like anarchy as in tearing down the current government. And what I always took was that he wanted to tear down that government and have people rebuild it, but he knew that he was part of that old world that was caused by destruction and violence and stuff like that. And so when it did come to Evie and kind of how you say he groomed her, like he did, but in a way he groomed her to be different than him. And they show that through their awakening after, they get tortured and shit.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they contrasted well together. I mean, like she's going through like in a way the same punishments, but their rebirth is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and his was through fire and destruction and
hers is through the
vengeance,
water.
and hers was through rain and stuff that gives life and replenishes and stuff. And so I think he knew that as a product of that old government, like he could be nothing more than that destructive force. It makes it seem like he picked Evie, but in the movie he talks about like fate not being something he plays around with. He's like, we were brought together for me to end this race and for you to continue it in a different way than I am.
Right.
Yeah. He's a huge strategist, and I mean, like he already knows the pieces before they fall.
Right.
But yeah, like Evie herself, kind of like the difference between the comic book and the movie itself is like Evie was supposed to be a prostitute, and not so much here.
Well, yeah, I guess that made people not really relate to the character that well.
Plus, I don't think she would have access to somebody's penthouse, which I don't understand how Evie has access to.
Well, being a personal assistant, I'm sure they gave it to her to do
it's personal
laundry and stuff like that.
She just gets coffee, and
she's a grunt.
I thought that was a little weird. That was a pretty loose on the... They're like, ooh, let's make it so that this random assistant who we've never shown actually work with this guy, has direct access to his penthouse. And we were like, okay.
Makes sense, go.
Right.
Oh, he killed him. He did.
Oh, he did.
I did like the beginning part where they have like their introduction, and she asks like, who are you? And it's like, does the whole monologue of pretty much saying it's stupid to ask a man who he is. It's like a mask. I don't want anybody to know who I am.
Right.
And then he led with that the entire time too. It's not the person who's under the mask. It's, they have this little burnt flesh and muscles. It's the idea. He's not a person anymore. He's the idea.
Right. And then Christopher Nolan totally stole that for Batman, The Dark Knight Rises or whatever.
No, he didn't.
It's not what's under the mask. Blah, 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 blah.
Catch your breath.
Use your inhaler, Batman. But yeah, I mean, that idea, and it is a carrying theme throughout the movie, where at the end, how they have all the citizens take off their mask, and it's the citizens that are still alive, or even the ones that, you know, died as part of the cause or part of, you know, V stuff. It was to show that everyone could be that person of change, and that
I liked how all of them were kind of coming through, like the soldiers and jumping this. I'm like, does everybody here have like parkour skills? Because it is like,
yes. But then that was another. I mean, I'm glad you guys had me on here for the token black perspective there.
Thank you.
I'm like, yeah, that's a white person thing. Like, we're not going to walk up a whole bunch of tanks and barricades and just jump them right in front of police officers with guns. Like, no.
It's like we live, this movie kind of takes place where most people, they just want to go to university or have a game of squash or maybe call up some blokes on the telly and trolley down to the pub or something. But
everything you said hurt me.
I'm sorry.
When he reads off his computer, it usually does hurt you.
What?
It hurts our listeners' ears too.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's how most of the people are, but they're getting controlled by the media pollution into the ear.
I will say this little fun fact. So I've been the manager of the Halloween department for 15 years. And every year since I've been there, there's 2 masks that are our most popular masks that we sell every year. First, Michael Myers from Halloween.
Yep.
And the second are Guy Fawkes masks. I have so many people coming in. When I first started ordering, I had to like every year double my order because I cannot keep enough of them in. Just a fun fact I thought I'd throw out there about that.
And the thing too, people are buying the Guy Fawkes mask going, oh, I'm so fucking original. Like,
that is the sad truth, what you just said there.
It's kind of like people buying the Andre the Giant Obey stuff, where it was all started to be against capitalism and the over marketing of stuff. And people are like, look, I'm cool too. It's like that.
Doesn't mean it with that.
You're not, you missed the point, guys. Another fun fact that I don't know if you guys know about, the actor John Hurt, who plays Chancellor Sutler. He is actually the main character in 1984, the movie. And basically it's the exact same premise of big government, spies, all that, except he had the counterpart role where he was the more revolutionary guy. So it was...
Is that purposely made that way? Was there like something behind that?
Like...
Was he called in for that role? I mean, like, just because there was a big influence with...
I think it was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun to play the other side of this? Yeah, it's just really fun to see him having... Because, you know, what is it, George Orwell? He was all, like, very anti-communist. Yeah, that's the one. And big government control, and then you've got the switch on it here with V. I thought it was really interesting. But I remember in 2005... where a little fresh-faced JJ went to go see this at the Dollar Movie Theater here in town by the Stockyards that smell like poo.
Did you see it first, or did you see it like on the 4th on the docket? Because every time we went there, we saw one movie. Well, we paid for one movie and watched everything.
That's not the point.
Okay, keep on.
All right.
No one cares about your thieving ways.
No, this was against the anti-commie.
Yeah, and we're sticking it to the...
Yeah.
Like, who's going to go pay money for a movie that's talking about being an anarchist? Like,
and then you criminals got our dollar theater shut down.
That's
no more dollar movies that we can sneak into.
It was location. That's what.
Never mind.
So, anyways, I remember seeing it, and like I didn't care about any of the political stuff. I saw his opening speech where he used all the V words. Except for vagina, which I'm like, how did you miss that one?
That's what I had on here too. That's why my point system went down.
Voila.
Vagina.
Vagina.
It's easy. Vasectomy.
But like, I did feel like when I was first, seeing it and he's talking, I'm like, I can't really understand you. He definitely, I mean, like Christopher Nolan stole a lot from this movie, I feel like, because he definitely had the Bane muffled voice. Like, I'm sure what you're saying is really cool, but I only get like every third and fifth word.
I guess they had to redo that. I mean, like his actual acting, great actor, and like he uses a lot of his movements to portray what he's actually saying behind a mask because you can't see anything. So you're reading his movements with the words that was kind of put over the fact in Folly. And
Yeah. But I was like, I don't know if I like this guy. And then he blow up a statue while conducting an orchestra and laughing maniacally. I'm like, yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. I could tell.
there's a line in here where it's like artists use lies to tell the truth. And I think that fits well with Alan Moore. I wonder if that is like his actual writing or so. But it's straight to the point. I mean, you're using like a comic book to pull somebody in. And like we're seeing the reflection with what is actually going on. Not only that, but like Alan Moore himself, when V was posing dressed down, like it looks like he took on Alan Moore's character, his likeness when he met with the inspector Finch.
Oh yeah, I could see that, the prosthetics and all that.
It's like that was kind of cool. I think that was like a little throwback to him.
So Jeremy, what was it that turned you off to it? Was it just the drastically political climate, or
that? I don't know. I just cannot get into movies like that. I have a specific kind of movie that I'm interested in, and
is it because they're British?
Yeah.
I'm against the colonizers too. America.
It's
also Wakanda.
As silly as it sounds, the accents in this movie are annoying as shit, and it just reminds me too much of like Harry Potter type movies, and I can't get into those movies. And
you're just trying to make fun of every nerd culture while you're at it.
There goes our UK listeners.
Fucking UKers and
you know what
Harry
else I hate?
Potter.
Fucking Doctor Who. And
They didn't have like the crikey.
You,
Like, they
you
wasn't that
Magic the
sort of-
Gathering guy. You suck my left dick.
Your left dick?
yeah,
You got two?
it's not.
I don't know.
you
I just it's not my cup of tea. I watched it again. I think this kind of would come later in the what would I do differently, and what I would have maybe made it better, more action. I think there was
This is your fucking excuse for every single movie. Like every movie
he says more blood. Blood or action.
Every
It's
movie
just-
you've
there
done
was
like
just-
should have had more action.
and it should.
Yeah, the last
Keep my
fight scene
attention more.
was pretty cool, and I liked how he uses a chess analogy to kind of like act out or explain his methods. He's like, I'm going to do this, and pretty much there's nothing you can do, and he does it.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but it wasn't as climactic as I
Yeah.
would have expected to be for being the final scene.
Well, I thought the ending of the movie was anticlimactic, but
They blown a building up.
the end fight scene, I guess I should say.
You know, I liked the end fight scene if it wouldn't have been for the complete overuse of blood. Like it seems like they way overdid the blood.
It was like Kill Bill-esque
Yeah,
amount of
like
blood.
it was
Quentin Tarantino.
way too much amount of blood. Like getting your throat cut, even getting your carotid artery cut would not use that much blood. Especially getting like the side of your arm cut and it looked like Carrie. Little much. I even was okay with the swirling action of the blade. I thought that was a fine detail they put in.
Oh, yeah.
But the amount of blood took me out of that scene so much.
I think with the swirling, the slow-mo, I mean, with the Wachowski sisters, I mean, coming off of Matrix, because that's pretty much their movies.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of that going from our last podcast where
I don't know
Matrix
how
was-
much like they had to do with the actual like choreography of stuff like that, since they were just the writers on
Right.
there.
Oh,
I was going to ask you, Justin,
Justin?
since
bro.
you like the choreography and fight scene type stuff, how would you rank the fight scenes in this movie?
for what it was, I mean, it could have been more. I mean, doing what you can as a masked character with almost anything, being in prosthetics or being in a superhero costumes these days are so much easier to get by. Look at like Black Panther. I mean, like the last fight scene in that was all CGI, but I thought it was actually pretty well for the character because, like I said, going with the chess analogy, like he tells his moves and then he executes, and it was very precise. It was very clean, even in heated moments when he was getting shot up at the last part. Like I don't believe everything. Well, I mean, obviously it didn't because he was dying, but the way he was still able to throw like the final knives and choke out the what's his name, Chow Chi Creedy. Yeah,
Chow Chi.
Chow Chi Creedy. The way he was
Wrong kind of movie.
It's his pet names, Chowchi.
But yeah, then after that, like it all, I mean, maybe it could be like an adrenaline rush or something, but like he exits stage right and, or is it left?
How, and this could be a stupid question, but like I said, my mind wasn't 100% in it as it went on. How old was V in this movie?
They don't
They
get
don't
into it.
say.
Because I was picturing him more as a, not elderly, but up there in age, which is why I thought that, his fighting wasn't as high paced as I thought it would be.
They do kind of go into like somewhat of the character backstory where he
Was locked up.
he's not like Batman or anyone else who's had like official training through all the experiments and stuff that they did. He was like the only living survivor, and it gave him only
More
living
adaptability,
survivor. I guess
yeah.
I could just say the only survivor because you got to be living to.
True.
Yeah. So it like gave him like quicker reflexes and stuff like that. And so it was one of those things where they were trying to show speed at the in that last battle. Why he could kill them before they could reload was because he was like just that fast. And so they slowed it down for us to see it all. But like, I don't think it really translated very well that was what was happening.
Yeah.
They could have gone more into it, like how he got to the stuff. I mean, like, I believe in the comic where it's talking about how they were giving him more liberties as far as like with the gardening. He was using like the fertilizer and stuff, and upon the explosion, didn't like the compounds or something.
So yeah, like,
mesh with it.
yeah, it was the same type of stuff he used to blow up the statue and stuff. And it was that he was learning how to basically become
A botanist or whatever.
botanist terrorist.
Yeah.
As most botanists,
Yeah, exactly.
move on to their next stage of life.
I thought that was kind of when he's talking to Evie, he's like, I wanted to give you this gift. And when the camera goes over and you see fertilizer, I'm like, your gift is shit.
Like, that's a train full of poo, sir.
You get
Oh,
nothing.
God, it stings.
I do have to say that shaved head Natalie Portman is my favorite Natalie Portman. I thought she was absolutely adorable with shaved head. I loved it.
Made her look too young,
She was young.
like a little girl. I don't think Natalie Portman's that attractive to begin with.
You have different tastes.
I do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what Lonnie's saying,
You
but
like
one
old
out of-
ladies.
if he likes
You
Four
like
people are common.
shaved,
You like grandmas.
no, not grandmas. Okay, maybe
You like women who are like, hey, come over to my house. We can watch Golden Girls and then eat hard candies out of my purse.
That sounds like a great idea. Sign me
Who
up.
doesn't want that?
Yeah.
It's all stuck together. Yeah,
Oh, looks like you got a twofer.
the obvious symbology, I guess, with when you're seeing like the cells, Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 being the V, and he takes on the name V. So you don't necessarily know his real name, but he also kind of uses identity from like his favorite movie, The Count of Monte Cristo. And I like that ending line with Evie when she says like, well, she's talking to Finch, and he's like, who is that, or something like that, and he's like, his name was Edmund
Dantes.
Dantes.
He's my father.
Yeah.
And when she said, I was like, what? I was like, bullshit. And
my
then
father.
she's like, my father.
There was kind of
And
a
my mother.
Yeah, there was kind of a theory that like they were father-daughter, but it's like she's kissing on his mask.
It was number 5 comes up a lot, like and like he plays like Beethoven's Fifth when he's talking to Creedy in his greenhouse and stuff to block out the microphones or whatever. There's surveillance microphones, and I'm like, oh, that's nifty. I like little smart hidden things there.
Right, little Easter eggs. It's like even V upside down is pretty much like the anarchist symbol, but minus a little slash.
I mean, kind of. Letters are similar to other letters.
I did like the scene, and forgive me, I don't know the character's name, but when V went to that lady's place that was in bed.
The botanist.
Yeah.
No, the doctor. She was the mortician.
She said that
also
she was like,
worked at-
yeah.
But I like how their interaction, and she like says, "Are you going to kill me now or whatever?" And then he's like, "I killed you 5 minutes ago or whatever," because she slipped something in or whatever. I thought that was kind of
syringed her.
Yeah,
yeah.
syringed her.
I thought that was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, the part of that I really liked is when she asked if it was pointless to apologize, and he said never. And you see so much rage from him about his revenge and violence from him, and I was like, that was a really soft moment where it really endeared you to the character, and then he went and tortured the girl he liked for a couple months, which gave me confused feelings.
Yeah. What is your take on
I tortured you for the good.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like she kind of, I don't know if I want to say she kind of consented to it. The thing is that she wanted to be fearless, and thinking about like his methods is probably, it's wrong. It violates so much stuff, but I don't think she would have been fearless knowing that he's always there for her. If she knows that she can fall onto him and not stand up for herself, I don't know if she would have reached that individualism, because she's pretty much helpless, and she knew she was helpless. but she became stronger.
It's a very dangerous situation. And like, I mean, with the climate nowadays, with like the Me Too movement and all that, I'm like, if this movie had came out in 2019, 2020, that would have been a huge unacceptable thing, because it's like, yeah, that's like extreme gaslighting and being extremely toxic. It shows that
she had breeding material.
Right. She like, it goes back to showing him being like part of that old world where the only way he knew to get someone to have their confidence or individuality is through the same abuse that he went through, which speaks to part of his character. But it's like, yeah, you still tortured a girl for a long, like, and not even just imprisoned her, which would be bad enough, but tortured her.
Her cat is probably dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did feel like it was a little weird. She was like, you tortured me and you shaved my hair. It's like, what?
She got over it really fast,
but
though.
like, if I'm getting tortured, I think I'm going to not give two shits about my hair.
And he's like, you want to go outside?
Come on. And so I just thought, when I saw that, I remember it made me really conflicted in theaters, just because they want you to like V and they want you to understand his motives and stuff like that. And I felt like weird, because up till that part, I was like, okay, yeah, blow some shit up. Okay, I can understand that. Sometimes we get mad. Okay, yeah, sure, kill white people. All right, I'm there. You know, sometimes hey, you got to, sometimes.
Spoiler alert, none of you leaving. Oh, no.
And then I was like, V, no, we can't go kidnapping ladies just because we like them.
Why?
I'm going to make her grow. It's like, that's not a good enough. I mean, I don't think there is.
Did you see what she was wearing?
You saw the way she was dressed. God. It's so terrible. And so I feel like, is that a weird moral thing that I'm like, okay, yeah, kill a priest. That's obviously bad. Yeah, go ahead. Kill someone who wronged you a while ago. Okay, sure. Like, where's the moral line of like, oh, well, these people are fascists, and so it's okay to kill them. And then, oh, this girl wanted to be stronger. He could have taken her to like a extreme boot camp or something. There were other options.
I think the way he was doing it, because again, he is all about precision and timing, and the timing was necessary for her to get to where she was needed to be, or at a certain level where she can make that choice and pull the lever at the end, which seems like an easy choice. Shit's fucked up.
Would you like to continue being unhappy, or maybe start? If you go into like the practicality of that,
pay the rent for her flat.
Like, did he have that fun dungeon set up already, or was he like, well, she's at her friend's house, so I'm gonna prepare a little funsy, I'm gonna set up something cool for when she comes back. Oh, she's coming back,
She was there before. She never really ventured out into
right,
that. I thought that was the same room. Door she came out of eventually.
You guys can go anywhere except for there.
The one that says
between hours and 5 and 7. That's my special time.
Like I said, the time being of an essence, I don't think she would have, because she would always know that she always had that second parachute to pull. She could have got to that point, but it would probably take double, triple the time if it was just more of a slower mental cognitive.
I mean, you could say that, but you can also see her parents were choking on my mint. Hold on.
Choke it out there, boy.
Her parents were like
a quarter.
freedom fighters, and, her brother died in the epidemic and stuff. And so I don't know. I understand it, but also I definitely feel like that's not something that would ever pass nowadays pop culture climate.
I guess going back to that theory of like her possibly being the daughter of V. There was a point where she said like her dad was no longer there, like he went to war or something.
Nah, he died.
Yeah. And then I was kind of wondering, because she said she hadn't had that sort of breakfast since she was a child.
Right.
And he made it exactly how, I guess, she wanted it or something. But
well, that's not that hard. I mean,
put like a little egg on it.
Yeah, I mean, eggs in a basket all the time. It's, it's just butter. But that was like a lot of butter.
Secret ingredient.
Like, as black people, we like frying stuff, but that was like a lot for a piece of bread.
I don't think they use butter. It's just cream.
No, they use butter.
Oh, okay.
You say creme?
Cream.
You
put the cream on it. You're going to have yourself a jolly old time.
Stop.
Will you?
I hate accents.
You're going to go down to the pot in, yeah? Cheerio. I didn't do it with an accent. Fuck you. I think one of my favorite scenes in this was kind of like the Scooby-Doo Benny Hill, where they're running around. Yeah, and they
on the talk show.
Yeah, Gordon kind of changed the whole thing, which gave Sutler that little Inspector Gadget, with his claw.
Curse you, Gadget. Crush
breaks his milk.
I was like, dude, you're old. That definitely punctured. Yeah. I can't squeeze a glass and not cut myself.
Blood thinners is, Also, another thing that I really loved about this was the shadow gallery, his whole place. It's like it's filled with all these mini like classical pieces, and there's certain shots that were like strong with a change or a birth or a rebirth, if you will. And like the paintings, one of the couples who were with child, there's a collection of like butterflies, which is also strong symbology for change for the better. And there's also like a chessboard and a symbol of contemplation and strategy, which was like what V was. He's a man about timing, and many of these symbols factor timing as probably the important factor since he set a date, being the 5th of November. There's also like a premature baby. And like a premature baby, it has like more risks. So if like if you interrupt the journey of like a caterpillar to a butterfly, it'll die. Being haphazard about your chess moves, it can easily cost you the game.
He also had a picture of Saint Sebastian, who in Christian
culture, history.
Yeah, he was martyred twice basically. So once he was like tied up to a pole, shot with arrows and stuff.
He didn't learn it
and
first.
Like the picture of him doing it that's in the gallery, he's like, "Oh guys, stop." That's like so not cool of you. This isn't it, but it's pretty similar to it, right? Okay. He's like, "Guys," right? And then so what happens is he gets like,
stop it.
Healed by not healed, but taken care of by like Saint Lucia, I think. I don't know, some other,
Santa Lucia.
Then he goes out, preaches the gospel again, and they're like, "Didn't we just?" And so they club him to death with.
Do it again.
Yep.
It didn't take the first time.
It didn't take. And so like, it was. That's also like the little foreshadowing for his martyrdom and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I don't know, I guess one of the biggest things I liked about this is, especially like as someone who practices the Christian faith, as much as I can, it's like it really challenges. I mean, how they had Gordon Diedrich, Stephen Fry's character, like all these things that we believe in and stuff like that. Should we be so uncompromising in our beliefs that it costs people their lives? And is the climate or the path we're on now just? If we keep on that path, is it going to become this extreme? Could we easily slide into this being super extreme thing? I thought that, it's super thought provoking, which it's Alan Moore, so that's gonna happen.
Right.
And I think that's the thing like with, I don't know, maybe not 300, but with the Watchmen and stuff like that, it's like, this is how easily things can get out of hand. And it all just starts with small compromises, especially coming from the Wachowski, because then they were still there, the Wachowski brothers. That mixed with the Matrix and all that about being a really big like trans person analogy. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Good job.
I thought Justin had something really, because you look like you're in deep thought.
He was like, yeah.
I was, but it's pretty much, I agree with it. Yeah. It's like, I guess just... When it comes to the idea or concept or false illusion of power, like you give somebody power, and a lot of times people don't know what to do with power, and so it kind of like corrupts
you
them.
at the soundboard.
Yeah. And
it says, "I will do whatever the." Yeah. That's what I should have got on my 9-star rating there. Oh. And I'm glad we went from talking about Christian morals and loving people to eat it.
But yeah, you give somebody an inch and they take a mile.
I'm glad my super deep philosophical.
Thanks.
You're like, yeah. Anyway,
back to Bible study.
We're immature.
That's what they do to me all the time. No, but another thing.
Pause the episode.
Okay, bye.
Do to you.
Yeah. Amazing things, amazing content I have, and then I'm like, whatever. Like, man.
Anyways,
they don't understand. Thank you for being here for me.
I can tell. You can tell when your stuff is bullshit because you get this gleam in your eye. And like, here we go.
The audience can't see my gleam in my eye.
We can.
But no. So a few things I guess with Evie's character, like when Gordon's like, "Come inside," before somebody sees you. I'm like, how the fuck did somebody not see her wearing that?
I know, she just makes it through the streets of London. That's super surveillance and stuff in a tutu.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even have a coat.
Well, she like sees a car or a 2-ton and then turns out of the corner and then they just keep going. I'm like, they saw her.
Like,
Saw her.
Majority of us will say pretty woman going down the street in a tutu.
They were whistling. You heard it.
Right. Our pervy guy sense goes off like Spider-Man, except like it radiates in different areas.
There it is.
Where?
Tell us.
It shoots webs.
Show us on the doll.
Here's a piece of paper. Just draw it out.
Wow, that's pretty graphic.
Well, yeah, V being a terrorist, I liked how there was a terrorist in a kitchen apron. That was kind of clever. I don't know if it was clever. It was just comical. It's like, wow.
You're like, he kills people, but
Yeah.
look, he's conscious
just
about
making
his
sure.
clothes.
Don't want to get any splatter on you.
Yeah, because he's got to worry about being burned.
Also with Gordon, there was something I think all of us kind of relate to where she was like, is everything a joke to you? And he says like, only the things that matter. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, I think we all use humor as a coping mechanism.
I'm making fun of you. I love you.
That too.
And I make fun of myself so I can get it in before you can.
I just make everybody think that I'm joking all the time when really I'm just being mean.
That works. though.
Yeah, like how I talk about your nose.
That's fucked up.
What about his
Very
nose?
Oh my
it's
gosh, what about it?
For once, I'm at a table and no one's making fun of my Junos.
That's because my
You're
snout.
overshadowed by the
I got a beaker.
condor beak there.
Oh man,
Got a beaker
This is
like
awesome.
a Doberman. There was
What else? can
And
we make
really,
fun of
Justin's
Justin?
like one of those birds that you can balance on your finger just by the beak.
This is
Right
rude.
that.
That's rude.
I remember those. Those are awesome. I'm gonna get one of those.
That was 2 at a time. With the inspector too. Like he has to use that little scrambler to have like conversations. But I'm like, you just been using your computer like all freely willy like to search all this other stuff that you're pretty much talking about. It's like, why are you using a scrambler to have a vocal conversation, but everything's backlogged on your computer?
Also, I'm like, bullshit. That's a book light. I have that book light. You're not fooling just because you paint the lens red. You're not fooling anyone.
But when it comes to like the Roman numerals as well, like V being number 5, and like it stopped at that cell, meaning like he's pretty much the last one, the only one remaining. And I think if there was going to be a number 6, it would be Evie. And then if there was going to be a number 7, it showed when Inspector that night of November 5th, it clicked 7 on his alarm clock. And that's when he stood up. He like took rise, like this is what's going to happen. So he is number 7. We need a number 7, but he's British, and he is
Right.
an agent.
Okay.
Agent 007. Or
Set.
Oh.
What?
I think we're going on the same
Yeah.
page here.
I think that's exactly what Alan Moore and
Yeah. Thank you.
David Lloyd,
He gets it. See, he needs to be here for more of
the
this stuff
Wachowskis
because like he's
were planning.
thank you.
Does he makes you feel good about yourself?
Because he can follow your whack ass trains.
Do your impression of him making up points. You did one.
I can't. It has to be in the moment.
It's got to be natural. Don't put me on the spot.
Like this movie kind of showed a lot of like hard Nazi symbolism. Like the Sutler was an obvious Hitler portrayal, you know, the hairdo and not so much the mustache, but with his loud guttural
Yeah, the
like
way he like gave
yeah.
his speeches and stuff, and they showed him at the rally. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And he always has like the symbol of the fingermen,
He was a
which
whiny,
are the
he was
Nazis.
a whiny little bitch at the end.
He should have went out like a whiny. Well, I guess he did.
He
Yeah.
did.
But not with his own hand with Eva Perez.
Another thing that's changed as I've watched the movie every year, you know, I've gotten older, and at the end when they're bringing Sutler down and they slam him on his knees,
I thought that
like,
was
I'm like, oh shit, that
I
would
do that
hurt. Why would you guys do that?
Motherfucker, that workman's comp.
God damn.
when V is about to take a hold and rise up and carry out his final mission. He does that one point where he sets up all these dominoes, and it's just him. Like, you did all this for you? Are you just entertaining yourself?
Look, he had to be inside for a year.
And it was symbolic,
And
though. I
there's
get
only
that.
so much masturbation you can do before it rubs off.
It's what the apron's for.
Hey, with those fucking burnt hands, like how good can that feel?
It's ribbed for
like
his own
fucking
pleasure.
rubbing calluses all over your dick.
Although, I mean, I don't know. I'm just weird, and I look at
His
the like
dick's a
small.
callus.
details in the movies because, I'm like, well, he's clearly standing in that fire when he blew up the camp. He's clearly standing in there pretty buck-ass naked. And, I mean, those flames are like waist high.
Yeah. He can't grow pubes again.
Let's talk to a burn victim. Lonnie, how does that feel?
Is that a Jew joke?
Because of his
Maybe that's why my feet hurt so bad.
Oh, a good one.
Another thing
have him on more often.
In the very beginning of this movie, I also kind of didn't get that. There's a curfew set, and she has a date, and she's taking forever to get ready. Like, she knows there's a curfew, yet she's going to go out afterwards.
The Fingermen are known to be, I'm sure that's not the first, like, oh, they're pretty bad guys. Like, dude, go out sooner.
Yeah, you would know. You probably avoided. You work at a news media place, whatever.
Oh, with all access on your badge.
That dude's got that ugly dude's got a date with Natalie Portman. I would fucking be like, 11:30, sure.
But he's gay.
He cooked her eggs, bro.
Yeah, but he was gay. That's why he was punished because
I'd switch teams for Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
that's what he was saying. Like he can't date
gay until it comes to Natalie Portman, right?
Oh, okay. No, I mean he was saying something along the lines, and I think I missed that the first time I've watched this. Is like I didn't understand that he's saying he couldn't bring the people that he wanted to his place because it's frowned upon because he can't express his sexuality. And he didn't have any interest in her.
I mean, like down in his little basement room, he had that
was all dudes tied up.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, how did you miss that? You're like, oh, look at that gentleman enjoying his little same-sex
I thought it was just art. Huh. What do we want to change?
What I would change is, like I said, with Hugo Weaving's voice. Like, he's a really great voice, and I'm kind of with Jeremy on it. I hate accents, especially British accents, because I'm America. Fuck yeah.
We won, fuckers.
That's what you get, you stupid colonizers. But
how is that on there?
Why did you just have that ready to go? Why do you have the spank noise and I'm proud to be an American
next to each other?
I bet if you look, Toby Keith is on there too somewhere.
Here you go. This is for you.
You're not helping your cause with that dance.
I knew you didn't take dance lessons.
I'd get up and do the feet too, but
you don't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
That dance proves I'm a Jew.
Anyways, as I was
bringing
saying,
it back,
I would change Hugo Weaving's just the voice. I understand the whole they want it to be authentic with the sound of the mask. But I'm like, between his accent and all the background noises, I felt it was, at times, it was very hard to hear what he was saying and really make it out. And I feel like, especially at the introduction of the character, when he first appears on screen and he's doing like the Shakespeare or whatever monologue before the V's, I'm like, I don't know what you said. No, I watch it every year. It's like,
the visceral vasectomy.
No, before that.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. But so that's something I would change. Yeah, there are just a few things, like you said, with showing some more background into his character, because the comic book didn't give a lot, but it gave a little bit more to kind of explain some of his abilities and rationale, as opposed to just being like an everyday Joe who knows how to make massive bombs out of fertilizer.
Yes, I did kind of like, I mean, I didn't really mind the accent. I mean, I kind of go cultural everywhere with whatever. It's just a French accent. Woo! No, I'm just playing. But yeah, no, like Desmond or Monte Cristo, dude. Like he said that was his favorite movie, and he was kind of pulling from that dapper gentleman, even though he's unhinged. He has a plan, yet he doesn't care. It's not. He has empathy, sympathy for like the people, but it's when it comes to the government, like I don't care. That's how he kind of is portrayed.
Same. So,
and I don't really care for his haircut. I don't care for bangs. He could have did without the bangs.
Could have tried harder on that.
And
could have had a Natalie Portman haircut.
He did. He probably couldn't grow it. I mean, it was a wig.
I wish the writers would have took a little bit more time with the anarchist study. I would have felt more comfortable if they would have made them more like Project Mayhem, just with their lack of respect towards monetary value. I can see why he would cherish monetary things, but I guess it's such a different world that we live in to what they live in as well. I guess I'd look at it from a very Americanized value, from a very English value, but that's something I would personally change. And like I said, the blood effect, way tone that shit down.
I think there was something I would want to see added. I would have gone up to maybe a 9 stars if I saw it. You know, at the very end where they're taking off the masks, one of those should have been a gorilla.
Took off the mask and it's a gorilla underneath.
Yes. Because, I mean, they went back to, like, you saw the people in the pub. You saw, like, the little girl who was kind of shot in the storytelling of Inspector Finch's, you know, saying how he saw everything kind of come together. But I didn't see the gorilla again. You saw the gorilla in the little Benny Hill chase. You know, and they're chasing after
You mean
V.
the guy in the gorilla
Yep.
costume?
I wanted to see a gorilla face. After they removed that mask, and then there's a gorilla face. 9 stars. 9 stars.
Fired from that job.
Jeremy?
The gorilla.
3 things I'd change: more action, less accents, and another thing is more from a
More tits.
editing, cinematography part. I
Gonna sneeze.
bless you, COVID.
Do it in the microphone. Oh, gosh.
The third thing I would change would be, I thought that the movie was too dark most of the time. Not dark like in like gruesome, dark as in coloration
value.
of the movie. I think it could have been a little bit more vivid colors. I mean, certain parts, yeah, they needed to be dark, but I just felt that majority of the movie was dark. And, you know, I think that they could have done more of like making certain colors pop a little more. Those are my critiques.
Give
for
it the old Zack Snyder pop. Well, I mean, I feel like he did that with Watchmen and 300 pretty well. I don't know. A lot of people have issues with those movies, but I think they translate over pretty well from the comics, much better than V did. If you go, I remember going to the comic book store and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to get these comics. I was like, what the shit is all these words for?
Do you want to leave these comics up front?
Huh?
So do you want to leave these comics up
No,
front?
I'll pay for them. Just let me, carry them around.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Alan Moore that's hard to get, especially like you read Swamp Thing and you read
Like Spider-Man or whatever. It's
in any of his writing, he is very dialogue heavy.
It's like, I didn't want to read a novel.
I can't masturbate to this shit. There's words all over it.
Oh, I can.
You're just not trying hard enough.
You can masturbate to anything with the right image.
This is true.
Vertigo.
You're the pro.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. Yeah,
It was a Vertigo comic, not
Vertigo.
Image Comics.
I didn't say image.
Yeah, you said
To
image.
the image.
Yeah, to the image. The Vertigo.
It's DC Vertigo.
Dark Horse. I'm just loud
Naming
noises.
things. You just making things up now?
I love that.
This is, though, I liked Watchmen, but this is probably my favorite DC movie. I'm not a big Cape and Tights fan when it comes to my comics of choice.
Just in your real life.
Just in my real life, yeah.
That's
no,
the bedroom time.
Friday Night Tights.
but no, like my comics of choice, I'm not really a big Cape and Tights guy, and DC does very few non-Cape and Tights books. So I like this one. Yeah. Watchmen was another really good one. Didn't really care for Swamp Thing.
I don't even think I've ever really read a Swamp Thing comic unless it was like a free comic book day stuff. But
The Swamp Thing movie,
I did like the old school stuff. Yeah,
big old boobies in it.
he's got some decent boobs.
Swamp Thing?
Yeah,
He's,
or I think they're on his knees or whatever. But anyways,
Who hurt
happening?
you? Why are you the way that you are?
yes,
so next step.
I got to pick the next one.
What you got for
We've been
us?
doing a lot of like early 2000 movies. I think the majority of ours have been early 2000s. I'm going to go back a little bit to the 90s. We're going to be doing a 1999 movie that was shot very close to here. It was the 1999 movie that
that's 2000 pretty much.
Alexander.
He's like, we're going to take it back, guys.
way back.
I didn't say way
year.
back. But it's Alexander Payne's movie Election that was shot at the high school that I actually went to. So,
I've never seen it before.
we're going to
pretty
have
good.
fun with it. So,
What's his name? Chris
Matthew Broderick's in it, Reese Witherspoon, Chris Klein.
Yeah.
That's where he got his start.
Starting the rotation again. You, me, Justin. Mine is I'm throwing a little curveball at us, boys.
Curveball was good.
We're gonna watch a movie together.
Oh,
It is gonna be one I promise you have never seen before. We're gonna reach into the hat of gems and pull a movie out.
Oh, you know Jim?
Gems.
Oh, more than one Jim.
Gems.
Yeah.
It's going to be
James.
great. We're either going to watch one of my friend Chris Seaver's films or the 1937 classic Terror of Tiny Town.
Okay.
well, I won't tell you guys what I'm going to be picking.
Do
I'll let
it!
you guys pick. I'll have a few options available. And
Oh,
then we'll just
yeah.
roll
We
the
talked
dice.
about this earlier.
Still Magnolias.
Nope.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Nope. Again.
Fried green tomatoes.
Nope. Nothing for you, JJ?
What? Oh,
By the way,
I know
thank
you
you.
want to watch the, what is it? Traveling Sisterhood of Traveling Pants.
Great
Such a
movie.
great movie.
Great movie.
10
Underrated.
out of 10.
Book was better. Yeah.
You don't know how to read.
Sometimes I read. Last movie review podcast was nothing but reading.
But he knows how to produce rubber bands, apparently.
Yeah.
Fucking magic.
No armpit.
But yeah, thank you for coming on the
Yeah,
podcast.
JJ, it was a
Gerard.
blast.
How much am I
JJ?
getting paid for this?
Now I'll get you a bumper
2
sticker.
bumper stickers
Yes.
and a keychain.
Thank you for
Keychains. Whoa, now.
We got to redo the outro here because it's it kicked out. I'm sorry. Stupid. There we go. And we're back. No, thank you for scheduling us into this.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good for the schedules.
Schedule.
They said schedule on
Did you
there
get-
like so many times.
If you guys have me back, I'll wear pants next time.
Oh, no. Then we can't have
Prefer
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's summer.
Glass.
Don't
can
make
smell
eye
each
contact with it.
With it,
Yeah, takes it as a challenge.
It gets very aggressive.
it's mean.
It's looking at
Why does
me.
it look so mean?
Why is it wearing a top hat?
Well, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out our link tree for all of our sites. We're gonna try to laugh our way off of
It's
here.
got a monocle, too.
Is this the Monopoly Man?
You only need one. That's what the monocle's for. But yeah, have a good night.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
This concludes our broadcast day.